Hey guys, this is part 2 of my series, My Experiences in Football. The title of this video is Preseason, which just means, scrimmage time, I guess. The stuff before the games, like, not the non-conference, but you know what I mean. You should know what a scrimmage is if you're watching this game, but whatever. I guess, I'll start with a little recap kind of on my last video, which was just in the beginning, if you didn't see it. Basically, I talked about being embarrassed. I was really scared and really nervous about playing football. I think the main reason I actually followed through with playing, besides the fact that I really did want to, was the fact that I had told everybody that I would. So I knew that if I didn't do it all of a sudden, oh, that lightning was scary. If I didn't do it all of a sudden, I would look really bad. Yeah, it would not be good. So I followed through with it. But about being embarrassed, I knew exactly what I wanted to say when I started this video, and that lightning just struck outside and it scared the crap out of me. Like, it's still rumbling the thunder when I don't even know what to say now. Oh my gosh, about being embarrassed, what was I gonna say? God, I lost my train of thought. What the heck is this? I don't have editing skills either, this is awful. Being embarrassed, oh my gosh. Okay, I know what I'm gonna say now. During that first week of actual practice, when we started, like, getting everything together, and how I hated agilities and everything, like I said in my last video, well, I kind of got over being embarrassed, I guess, as it progressed just a little bit. Not completely, but a little bit. Because, I realized that the guys had seen me at my absolute worst. They're going to see me the entire season. I was new to everything. A lot slower than I would be now, because, you know, even though I'm still slower at that time, I was completely out of shape, super weak, never wore shoulder pads really ever, you know, and crab walking. Okay, when they drug me across the ground just so I would be finished, that is when I realized, yeah, you're awful, okay? You're just bad, you know? And that was my worst, that they're ever going to see me. I just had a feeling that they weren't going to see me any worse than that, unless I, like, broke something out there, you know, and everything. But, yeah, so I kind of got over my embarrassment just a little bit. Just a little bit. But, anyway. As practices progressed a little bit, there was the scrimmages that were coming up. I'm pretty sure our first scrimmage we played Alexander Central, which, if you don't know, Eastbrook is a 2A school, Alexander Central is a 4A school. So when they're pulling in with like 3 or 4 buses full of kids, I think it was four buses full of football players, because they had JV and varsity. It's quite a bit. It's quite a bit, and I was definitely nervous that day, like, extremely nervous. And that day, well, I'm losing my thought again. That day, it wasn't like a regular scrimmage where they do everything, I guess. Like, they didn't do extra points or anything like that, or kickoff. I think it was just, you get the ball for so many minutes on offense, then you get the ball so many minutes on defense. We ended up beating them, which I was pretty happy. And that was my first experience with the team, like, together as a team, you know, against a different team versus just against, you know, second string or whatever, or me being against first string, I guess you should say. But, and all that stuff. So it was definitely something that was really interesting. But what I remember the most about that day was before we started the actual scrimmage part, we did, like, this little, like, camp thing. I don't even know what you would call it, but it was like before scrimmage work and stuff, like almost like a practice before we scrimmage and whatnot. And I remember OLDL, which is offense and defensive line, they split up from the other guys and they were going head to head against each other. And they did this little drill where they had two pads like set up like that, and then up here would be like a pad that stands straight up, and like if it falls over, it'll pop back up. And you'd go up against each other, and the guy that was on the side with the pad on it was on offense, and the other guy was on defense. And your job, depending on which side you were on, was either to defend the quarterback, which was the pad, or to get the quarterback, which was the pad. And I was super, super scared because the only guys I'd ever gone up against at this point was just my own team. And they hit me pretty hard. Like, the first time I'd ever been hit was Jacob Somerville, and he, like, knocked the crap out of me. And that wasn't the last time either, but that he was the first person to wipe me out onto the ground. And we weren't even fully dressed out. I was just wearing shoulder pads that day. So I knew that guys could hit pretty hard when they wanted to. And that being a girl meant nothing. I pretty much expected that going into it, but I was not expecting it. Yeah, it was terrifying. So I was really scared, and I was really hoping I'd go up against one of the smaller guys, which I did, and I was so happy. He still hit me pretty hard, but I learned really quick that you're going to get hit, so you better hit. Like, you're going to get hit, so you better hit them, because it's going to hurt worse if you don't. So, yeah. But I went up against this really big guy. Like the last time I went, the last go around, I did all right against the other guy. I think he still got past me every time. I didn't get thrown to the ground, I don't think, but I did get knocked down a couple times. But the very last time, the very last guy I went against was pretty big, and I was holding him off. I think, if I remember correctly, I was holding him off just a little bit. Like, I wasn't doing like that great, because I needed to do better, but I was still holding off pretty good, and he ended up knocking me down into the quarterback bag. It's weird to say quarterback bag. It kind of comes out the tongue weird, but. And he got mad and he said something. I didn't hear what he said because I got thrown to the ground. So I was like, "What the heck are you getting up?" And he said something, and it was about me. It was about me. So I wasn't. I mean, I knew it was about me, so I wasn't really sure what he said though. But I wasn't paying no mind. I was just trying to get up and move on with my life because I was not really in pain. I was just in shock of what had just happened. And one of my teammates, I'm pretty sure it was Reed, said some things to him about what he said. Like, it was like, you're just mad because a girl got you or whatever, something like that. He called him, excuse my language, but he called him a bitch. I think. I'm pretty sure he did. And he called him a feline. You know what I mean? I think. Now, it's kind of like hazy because it was a really long time ago when this happened. Not really long time, but it was long enough. It's been about a year, so, I don't remember exact detail of words. But that was the first moment that I felt accepted on the team. Like, I just felt this, like, satisfaction, I guess, that a guy on my team was willing to stand up for me. That made me feel really good. I was like, I don't care who it was, but the fact that he was wearing an Eastburn jersey made me feel really good. I was really happy. And it was really... So, that was definitely a plus. But, it was really nice feeling, I guess. I don't know. Just feeling that little glimpse of acceptance. Because that was something I had feared from the beginning, that the guys wouldn't accept me. People tried to make me think that the guys were going to hurt me intentionally, try to break bones and everything, so I would quit. That's what I was told by names I will not mention, but that's what they said to me. And I was really scared that was going to happen, and it didn't. And I was very happy that it didn't happen. So, yeah. Feeling accepted was definitely nice. And then there was the next scrimmage, which was the Jamboree, the Burke County Jamboree, and we didn't get to play that night. But it was just nice getting to be on the bus for the first time with the team. It was scary for me because I didn't know what was going on. It was really, really different. Like, it was like terrifying. It was terrifying. I didn't know what was going on, so I was really nervous, really, really nervous. And getting there, instantly people started looking at me like this. And I'm like, oh my god, It's like you better make sure, you did good. And I was really scared. I just tried to keep my head up, look confident. I kept telling myself, look confident, because if you look like you're terrified, they're gonna lose all respect for you. So you look confident, because if you look confident, you're gonna feel confident, all that stuff. That's what I did. That's what I told myself. And I was sitting with the guys. I remember them just saying that I should have been, instead of 68, because we were in our practice jerseys, they said I should have been 69. It's pretty embarrassing when they said that to me. And they all got a good laugh out of that, and it was just, I don't know. It was nice being with them, and them laughing with me instead of at me, I guess. And I remember that night, one of the guys decided it was time to use the bathroom, so we huddled around him so that he would not be seen, and the guys were like, shield your eyes, McKay, shield your eyes. I was like, okay, shield my eyes, because I didn't, not that I'm gonna look, that's kind of weird, but it was, I don't know, I guess, I don't know, just being a part of the team, just being one of the guys, it's a nice feeling. But we didn't get to play that night, so that kind of sucked. That kind of sucked really bad, because it started lightning. So we ended up getting it rescheduled, and we ended up playing at East Burke. It was one of the Lincolns. I think it was West Lincoln. I think it was, and my grandma actually got to come. That was the one thing she got to go to, and I got to go on the field, because little did I know that I ended up getting to be on extra point team. Isn't that awesome? But I'll go into that on a different video, because this one's like almost 12 minutes long already, and it'll probably be past that by the time I finish. But when I went on the field for extra point, which I'll explain a little bit about that on the next video, I guess, Carlos said, when we got on the field, and yes, this is a girl, and I was like, oh my god, it's like, yeah, shut up. I was like, yeah, it's awesome, I'm part of the team. I felt so good, but I was like, I didn't look at it because I was so scared. Like, oh my god, I'm on the field for the first time against somebody. It's terrifying. It was so terrifying. I mean, I honestly, like, every game I went into, I was terrified, all the way to the very last game I played in. I'm not gonna lie, I was terrified the whole season. But I mean, I'll go into more detail about each game and how I felt and blah blah blah. But I guess this video just says I learned that it is just possible to feel accepted in that situation of being out of place, I guess. Because I felt very out of place all season being a girl. But there's just little things here and there that made me feel accepted, and I think that acceptance that they gave me, the guys did, is what gave me the strength to make it through the season. So, I thank them for that, any of them that may be watching this video, and if your name was mentioned and you don't like that, just let me know, because I won't say your name again. But I really appreciate everybody on the team. Still do. I'm very happy I played, and I'm very happy they started accepting me early on, because I probably would not have made it without it. So, that will conclude this video, and until next time, goodbye.